I went to gym today. I did an hour on the elliptical, a bunch of weights, no problems at all. I come back, change clothes, I bend down and tie my shoe, it's like, oh,
Right. Stretch.
I took a couple Motrin, so. But what does that do with the assignment? Nothing. All right. I posted 5 assignments.
Oh my gosh.
It's all one, but there are 5 parts to it. Okay? Now, some of you have already looked at it. I don't know if it's any of you have looked at it, but it's actually, I put you in groups.
Oh,
Okay? You do not have to work with a partner, but you can. Okay? You can do it all. Actually, I would like everybody to submit anyway, but if you work with a partner, you can both submit the same thing. I'm fine with that. But I did put you in groups that, because I know in the past some people have had issues getting it to work. It's Metasploit and Amritage is all it is. It's really basic stuff, and I give you 100% of the instructions how to do it.
oh nice.
But I give it to you in Metasploit, and I want you to do an Amritage, which is actually easier if you've ever played with it. I'm going to show it to you here today, just a little bit. Okay, the assignments are right here. Well, they're up under assignment 9. When it shows the PDF, there's all 5 of them in the same area. But I have them right here, if they are open. So you can see what they look like. Now this is the actual stuff that I used when I went through certified ethical hacker training. Okay? If you log in, you'll see there's a group of victim machines up here, and that's what they look like. Every group, if you, on the bottom of the assignment, I guess sneeze, you have a group number and a name. Oh, there. Find whatever group you're in, and that's the machine you work with. You have permission to only the group you belong to. Okay? So find your group, whatever one it is. I think it's 1 through 8 has people in it. Then you're not going to be using the other 2. Now, so group enrollment is shown at the end of the thing, which is actually at the bottom, which is, I couldn't find an easy way to print it out, so I just did a screenshot. Here's the different groups. It's alphabetical. Every person except for the 2 people who aren't participating. Okay, so it's alphabetical down the list, all the way to the end. And there, DJ does it by himself because he's an odd number student. Okay, but that is up there already. You can look at it. What you need to do, okay, you need to, it says change the IP of your host. Whichever group you belong to, go into that machine and change it to the IP you see. Okay, y'all see where the IPs are listed. So it says change the IP of your target machine to the one specified in the vSphere. You should also be able to see your group machine. The username is administrator, and just figure out what the password is. It's not difficult. You'll figure it out. Okay? So change your IP to match this. If you don't, you have network issues. You're going to have people conflicting. So change it. You should also change the name, because in a Windows network, it can cause an issue if you have the multiple people with the same name machine. So change it to whatever you feel like. I could care less. Only one of you needs to do it. So, you need your Kali IP, but not actually, because all these instructions are for Metasploit. Amritage makes it, I'd say, 75% easier. Has anyone worked with both of them before? Anybody? It's like, wow, easy. So I'm going to show it to you. And it kind of makes it too simple, in my opinion. But it's nice to be able to use some of the newer tools. That's why I'm going to have you do it. Okay? But you can, I'll show you all that. Your assignment is to exploit your assigned machine and return the following screenshots. For the first part, there's only 3 screenshots. Where's my mouse? There it is. For the first part, there's only 3 screenshots, and at the end of each one, it tells you what's needed. Okay? So shut down your machine when done. For the first part, I want that screenshot. You know, there's 3 of them here. I tell you exactly what I want. I even give you them. I mean, I did it myself to prove that it actually worked. So your screenshots should be similar, with the exception of your IP will be different in the middle there. The IP of your machine will be different here. In the top, you'll be able to, it'll be your machine rather than mine. And the same one here. This IP will be different. The machine name will be different. The processes will most likely be the same, but it could be slightly different. And then there's the third one. What you're actually doing in this first part is you're using Metasploit and Amritage to connect to a remote machine using a DCOM exploit. and you're getting in, you're actually going into the command prompt, and you can type dir, whatever, but you know, if you type sysinfo, it'll tell you Windows NT. So it's pretty basic. Okay. This document, from this point on, goes in very great detail of how to do it in Metasploit. But it's much easier in Amritage, okay, which I'm going to show you. So I left the Metasploit instructions because you can follow along. Metasploit says open exploit. On Amritage, you click a button and open it rather than type it in. Okay, so it's the same kind of thing, but I left both in there so you can see them.
So do they now allow you to use Amritage in certified ethical hacking?
No, when I did it, it was Metasploit only.
But now is it?
Well, I don't know if it is now. I haven't been back to it lately, but I wanted you all to see it because I think it's a cool tool.
Was Amritage around then?
No, it was not when I went through the training. So I'm assuming now, maybe. But really, Amritage is really just a graphical front end for Metasploit because it actually still runs Metasploit. And you guys all should have got yours working, I hope, which I don't think I graded them. They were due tonight, weren't they? Or last week?
I think due for
I don't know. I didn't grade those. Sorry. I'll get to it. But yeah. So a lot of the instructions you're going to be able to skip over. So, but just look through it. And really, I want the output of some of these commands is what I'm looking for, which I showed you the screenshots at the top. Okay, and there's the group enrollment. For the second project, I'm just going to show you these, then I'll actually get in and show you how it works. You're actually going to use Metasploit again. Now, at the end of the first project, I mean, if you do all of them at the same time, you're great, because you already got the connection made, you already got it open. But if you don't, this really talks about starting all over again. You know, how to recreate the session. But here you're going to just export the password hashes of the machines, or on that machine, okay? Then I want to see a list of the hashes, so that one's pretty short and sweet. Number 3, you're actually going to use Kane to break the passwords. Now, I did not give you a machine with Kane installed on it. If you're in Forensics, you have one already. If you want to do it on your home machine, please. If not, you can use the lab. I could give you a virtual machine if you need one. I don't know, but it's using Kane to break those hashes. Okay? And what I want to see from this one, I want the usernames and passwords you cracked on this one. So at the bottom, I always tell you what to submit. Number 4, using keystroke or keystroke logme. Again, you're going into that machine. This one is the one where it might come in handy to have a partner working with you. That way one person can capture when somebody else is typing. But since they're both virtual machines, you can actually have both of them up and just type and see it appear on the screen. Okay. But it's not that hard to do there. Just, again, the instructions are word for word. Then I just want you to type something. It should come back looking like this. If you type it on the Windows machine, you should see it on your Kali Linux machine inside of Amritage. If you can't get Amritage to work, you can use Metasploit. I just would like you to use the other because that's what everybody seems to be using nowadays. Okay, and then taking screenshots of it. Again, you're going to make another connection. See, all this top stuff is, you know, well, this one actually uses a slightly different exploit, but you're still making a connection to the Metasploit machine, and then you're using it from that point on, and then you can get screenshots and just on the Windows machine go somewhere and then take a screenshot of it. So it's really basic stuff to do. Give you 2 weeks to do it. Because next week your stalking assignment's due. Okay? And they're not going to present it. I'll probably present something from them the following week, which is the 1st, maybe? No, it could be the 1st. Whatever a week after the 17th is. Here, let me bring up Mr. Calendar.
So do we get to find out who was stalking us?
Yes. So 24th is when this assignment's due. So we're not having class next week, because I want you to get your other stuff done and get this done. If you want to meet with your partner to work on this, that's great at that point. Again, you can't do it yourself. So I know, Brandon and Jim are in the same group, but they can do it themselves. It would actually be beneficial if you do it by yourself. But we've had people before that really, because a lot of this was really command line type stuff, and there's some people that are really command line idiots. I don't know what you want to call them. What was the word?
Command line deficient.
There you go, command line deficient. Like, I'll type CD and like, what'd you do? Change directory? There's a lot of people, they've never seen it. So that's why I did it in groups. And you don't have to work with a group, but I want everybody to submit something. If you work together, submit the same thing, that's fine. Either way, it's fine with me. Okay? So you know what the assignments are. They're pretty simple. If you just sit there and do them, you could probably have them done in an hour or two. Especially with Amritage. It makes it so much easier. Now, on your machines up here, there's your group machines like I showed you. Go into your machine, renumber the last digits of that. Don't worry about changing anything else. There's no gateway defined. You don't need a gateway because this is all working internally. And when I ask you to do screenshot, it doesn't mean you have to surf the internet. Bring up calculator, bring up notepad, something. Get a screenshot of that. And then rename your machine. Here's my machine is up and running. You will get an error because these machines, let me go into the settings of this machine real quick. These are actually domain controllers. And they are running with 2 gigs of RAM, but what was it? It's only an 8 gig hard drive, so it's pretty much full. So that's what you're going to get an error. Don't worry about it. Just shut it off when you're done. Now I'm going to bring up my Kali Linux machine. Now if you didn't get Amritage running, it's probably time to do that. Oh, and there's about 4 people in this class who are doing nothing. So if you're in a group with the people that are doing nothing, well, you could do it on your own anyway. So, all right. This is my Kali Linux machine. That's what it looks like. The cool thing is, in Metasploit, those instructions where you had to show exploit, use exploit, it's all right here. Okay. You can go in here, you can expand the exploits. Like say you want to find an exploit for an Apple iOS email system. There's an exploit right there. There's tons of them. This is what's nice. You can actually just pick the exploit you want to use. Like for the first one we talk about is a Windows error, and this is the DCOM exploit. So you actually use that exploit. When you connect, it actually looks like this. So it actually looks like Metasploit, MS. Then when you bring up the exploit, you actually inside the exploit, you just double click on the exploit. Mine's already connected. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it comes up like this. And this is your IP address. And the instructions I said you'll need it, but this automatically puts it in there for you. Okay. You do have to put in the R host. That's the remote host. The way you do that is you click over here. I think you right click or you double click over here and put in your IP address. So if you don't do that, it's not going to connect. Okay. When you first run it, it looks like that. Okay. So it actually, when you bring up this command, it looks like this. When you click launch, it's going to be like, I can't connect. Well, you did not tell me where to connect. So you just go into this window here. It's 250, mine's 250.250. Then you just say launch, and then it comes right up, and you're already in the machine. So it's really simple to do. So there's like 20 commands that we just did in Metasploit, all from side of Amritage. Okay? And when you actually make a connection to it, that's actually inside the Windows machine. Come on. There's the Windows directory. So it's actually kind of cool. All right. Yeah, it's running right there at the bottom. And the trickiest part was for me was all the different windows. Because it's like a different tab. Like you can actually have multiple exploits going at the same time, but you're using a different tab, which is kind of nice. I just didn't realize it was there initially when I started playing with it. But there's the windows. There's the actual Metasploit console. There's 2 different sessions that are open now. There's the different exploits. So it's kind of cool the way it works. I want you to play with it just so you can see what it does. If you can figure out, I guess I can even give you some extra credit if you want to use some different exploits to do something different. But you're doing everything from connecting with the command line. You're doing password dump, which actually is very simple. And you can right click on the machine up there and say dump hashes. It's like, seriously? That's how easy it is? It's pretty simple. Then you can do keyboard capturing and screenshots. But just play with it. It's kind of cool. And the passwords and the usernames aren't that tough, but it will take a little while for Kane to break them. They're stupid. But you get them.
Like digital forensics where it takes days.
No. These are basic ones. It's like George Washington and the password's cherry tree or something. I don't know. They all relate to the name one way or another. But no, they're just basic passwords. You don't need John the Ripper and all that other crap. You can just. But I'm pretty sure you can just right click and dump hashes up here. Access, there it is, dump hashes right there. So you can actually dump it all right there. So it's like, seriously? That's all there is to it? So, what would be kind of cool, you can actually bring up the console and just do it all through Metasploit. And then do it through Amritage so you can see the difference. See, I've done it through Metasploit. Then when I do it with Amritage, I'm like, seriously? This is like so easy. It does all of it for you. So, it's kind of cool. You can also run it on the command line. Just bring up a command line and type all that. Now, you all do remember, once you installed Amritage, you still have to start the SQL, not SQL,
The database.
post GRE SQL. That's it. PostgreSQL or whatever they call it. You got to start the database. Hopefully, when you did yours, you made the notes of it. Because even if you got Amritage installed, you got to start the database and then start the interpreter service. You got to start those two services. Then you got to go into user bin and start Amritage. So, and actually, if I stop mine, okay, you actually see I ran the command to start the SQL database. I ran the command to start Metasploit. Then I changed into user bin and ran Amritage. Now I think actually let me do mine again. See if it works. Mine might connect right in. But when you tell it to connect here, it'll say, hey, you didn't start this. Yeah, I'll say whatever. And it's going to fail. Well, mine's been running, so it might not fail. There it is. See, connection refused. Don't freak out. Just wait. Because if you cancel because it says connection, it will connect sooner or later. Just give it a minute. I don't know why it takes so long to connect, but it will connect. I'm assuming most of you had that running already because you wouldn't have got the screen up. If you took a screenshot, you already got the connect at one point or another. But it should connect. Both times I did it so far, I was about to give up when it finally connected. There it goes, it connected. So you're up, and I think you can actually even see host available on the network. Yeah, you can even do an Nmap scan to find the host, so it's really an awesome tool. But just use the one I give you. Don't screw with other. I mean, they're all identical, but you don't need to mess with someone else's. Just do your own. It's a Server 2003 Active Directory domain controller. So
Do you have to be on the network? Or
you have to be inside the vSphere to do it. Now, if you dump the hashes, yeah, then you can put them on Kane at home and run them. But you have to be on the network to do this. There's no other way I can get you this. Because actually, when I went through the training years ago, they weren't allowed to share virtual machines that already had passwords in them. Because it's a Microsoft licensing issue. But that's been resolved since then. And now Microsoft's stance is, if one school has an MSDN Academic Alliance and another one does as well, you can share virtual machines with license keys already installed. That's why we got them. Because I didn't build these. Casey O'Brien out of New England did. I can't remember his name. It's just a domain control with Asm patch is all it is. So it's kind of cool. Is everybody okay on what they're going to do? There's like 5 parts to it. It wouldn't hurt you to do it in Metasploit and then do it in Amritage just so you can see how it works. But Amritage, as you can see, it does a lot for you. It's, especially when you get down to, like, the whole entire show exploit. Oh, there it is. There's the Windows exploits, and I think it was the DCOM or something, whichever one it was. But yeah, everything's listed there.
But if you wanted to do this on your network at home, you have to be connected to your network.
Yeah, you couldn't run on yours because you have to be internal to mine. Now, at one point we did have a VPN running, but that got to be an issue, so we discontinued it. So, I don't know. But yeah, we do not currently have a VPN running, so I can't think of any other easy way to do it either. Now you could possibly, actually there is a way, there's the VMware converter. It's free, if I remember right. You can actually point it to vSphere using your credentials and download your virtual machine. The CEH victim machine. You could do that.
No, I'm saying if you wanted to do it on your personal network and
Oh, run it against your own home machines?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Just install Kali on something and run it. Yeah. But yeah, the way I got these victim machines in here was I actually used the VMware converter to convert them into this, but you could actually export those out if you wanted to keep it on your own. VMware converter, it works pretty good. But yeah, you could install Kali with some, or Backtrack or whatever, and run it in your home network. And the problem is, this here is not telling me the vulnerabilities on my machine. This is telling me all the vulnerabilities for Windows. Then once I pick one, then I go in here and I tell it the R host. Actually, let's try this. I've never tried this. Oops. What's happening is now we're trying to exploit this host with this specific exploit, and I don't know if it's going to work. Starting it. Actually, it might have got in. So that one might have got in, because I'm pretty sure this is a server 2003 with no patches. So maybe we'll get more on there. But try it with your laptop and see if it connects. All right, is that everything? 5 parts to it. So I should get 5 submissions from you, all in the same Dropbox. And what I did in the Dropbox, I made a rubric where it says 9-1 for 20% of your grade, 9-2 for 20%, 9-3 for 20%. So if you only did 4 of them, you get 80%. Easy enough? Everybody got it all figured out? Okay. And when you're done with your machines, please, please, please turn them off. Okay? Because they do take up a lot of resources. Especially the darn domain controllers. Just turn the darn thing off. Alright? And if no questions, you are free to go, because that's all I'm going to cover, but I am going to stop the recording.
All right, Ken, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Uverse or Cox? I know you have Cox, but